Facebook has recently become a large part of our Menlo life, but more recently there's been a lot of controversy on the topic of students and teachers being friends on Facebook. In an attempt to learn more about this subject, I went around and interviewed students and teachers who were willing to give me their opinion.
I think that most student-teacher relationships, like on Facebook, I don't think that that's really acceptable. I think that's kind of weird. It's fine if you're friends with your teachers, just kind of in school, or you're friendly with them, but I think being friends on Facebook is going a little too far.
I don't think it's a big problem. I mean, friends are friends, right? I mean, I can be a friend of Connor's mom. That's fine, you know, I mean, teachers are people too.
I'm not friends with any of the teachers on Facebook because I guess I think it'd be weird. And, yeah, it's weird.
It depends if the student or teacher has inappropriate stuff up, because then it can be really awkward and creepy.
Have to censor yourself.
Yeah, you'd have to think about everything you're gonna post and think about, if the next day the teacher's gonna get mad at you for posting that.
I don't like it at all. I mean, especially because I complain about homework a lot on Facebook, and if they see that I'm sitting there complaining the next day in class, like, so how was the homework?
I don't think teachers and students should be friends on Facebook at all. I mean,
it's really awkward. To have your teacher be your friend, and you can look at their pictures, and they're gonna look at your pictures.
I think that the students should wait until they're out of that particular teacher's class. If you have a connection with a teacher and you want to be your friend, it's better to wait until after you're no longer at the school and could get in trouble potentially for something that's on there.
It's fine when you're, really good friends with your teacher. I mean, that's cool, but I guess. But when they just friend you and you're not really friendly, then it's a little awkward.
I'm fine with it. I'm friends with multiple teachers on Facebook, and I'm fine with it. And it doesn't necessarily entail much, considering Facebook allows you to chat with them at times. I've actually asked questions to my teachers about math problems and whatnot on Facebook chat, which is actually pretty useful, surprisingly. So I think it opens a lot of doors, and people should be more open to it.
I would be friends with my teachers, but I've been denied too many times, so I've given up.
I think with Facebook, you have to be careful what you say, because anybody's going to view it or could view it, and it also never goes away.
I think it should be separate. Once a student is out of that class or graduates from the school, then perhaps they can be Facebook friends. But I think while they're in the class together, I think it should be separate. It becomes too much of a personal relationship.
I mean, for my own well-being, I like to separate work and my personal life, and that's my personal life. Facebook is part of what my personal life is, and so, no, I don't think it's a place where I want to have students.
I think students and teachers can be friends at school, but not on Facebook.
Don't think they should happen until after the students have graduated from high school and they're off into college.
Perfectly fine. I was brought onto Facebook years ago when Facebook was invented by Menlo Senior. I've been friends with students on Facebook. I keep in touch with grads on Facebook, and I've even met people who I went to college with who are now far away playing the violin in Los Angeles and stuff on Facebook.
I think boundaries are crossed and it's an awkward situation, so the answer is I'm not sure I'm in favor of it.
I don't think they should be friends. There's a separation that kids need and that faculty need. In fact, I even have a problem being Facebook friends with kids who are just 1 year out of Menlo. I think 2 years is good.
If a student knows that a teacher would have to report any issue of safety, any issue of legal violation to the authorities, should they find out about it through Facebook. And to make this very specific, if there was a picture, say, of somebody drinking that came to the teacher's knowledge, and the student had knowledge beforehand that if they send that to the teacher would be obliged to take action, I have no problem with it. I think that the problem comes where there is the blurring of roles. That is the teacher really my friend now, or is the teacher my teacher? And I think a teacher always has to be the teacher in a relationship with a student, even if they are very fond of their students, and I hope they are. I'm very fond of my students, and I hope that I can be friendly with them, but ultimately my role is as teacher and theirs as student.
My feeling is that teachers should be friendly with students, but not friends of students. There needs to be a distance.
I worry still about
students saying and posting things on Facebook that I might feel like it was my responsibility to intervene in some way. Less from a discipline sense than more, to be honest, from like a caring sense. So that if I were to just see a picture you posted and it concerned me, whether I thought you presented yourself over sexually or having to do with something to do with an illegal substance, then all of a sudden I'm in possession of some knowledge that I should care about because I care about you. And so I really believe it's not about trying to catch people and get them in trouble, but it's about interacting in a way in your private life that I have never done before.
In all this debate, I feel that Facebook says it's best. It's complicated between students and teachers.